How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring along with me to talk about the Sony A7 IV, since I finally got mine. So let's jump right into it. So I finally got my Sony A7 IV in the mail, and I am very excited to finally get this bad boy to kind of review it a little bit more properly, and also, you know, replace my old A7 III, because I won't really be using it, since there's a reason why I got this one, to kind of pair it up with my Sony A7S III, because when it comes down to the video with the 10-bit and everything, kind of wanted to match a bit if I need to use this one for video as well. And that way I can give my Sony A7R III to my wife to use and get rid of my A7 III now, because there's no point in having it. So yeah, pretty excited to finally get this bad boy and put it a little bit more through vigorous testing and review it a little bit and my initial thoughts. Eventually I'm going to be doing other videos where it comes down to using this versus the A7S III to see what kind of difference would it be for video and specs like that. Obviously this one is more kind of a true hybrid when it comes down to photography, with the higher megapixel count than the A7S III. But in the aspect of video world, to see if you really want to dive into more of a video camera or a hybrid, hopefully that'll help you out whenever I decide to do that video soon, and you can see it as well. And obviously I'll be using this camera as well with the new Tamron 35-150 for photography, because that's exactly what the point of this camera will be, is to be more photo oriented but with a good video standpoint when it comes down to using it if I need to only bring one camera with me and just want to have for video and photo. So most of the spec stuff we already kind of know. That's just a given. If you haven't seen the specs, here they are. But I mean, that's kind of like the general thing that everybody has put out with all the rumors, and whenever it got finally announced, you've probably seen those and everything like that. For me, the main focus that I want to do is just really test it out, to take it out with me, to take photos and videos today and see what I can basically just use it, what my normal like kind of, I guess, use would be of the camera. You know, obviously flip out screen, if I can take a better low angled photos, because now you can kind of get that angle nice and low like this, or I mean even like that you could use with the A7 III before with the other type of camera. But it should be kind of cool to, you know, test it out a little bit more. I literally got this before my nephew's baptism, so we went and I used it basically just to take photos. So I'll put a couple photos here so you can see what I've taken so far with them before we go out and shoot more content with this. So here you go. Honestly, the photos for me look phenomenal, but obviously that's kind of going to be like, I mean, I guess a given, because even my A7 III could take some good photos, and it's all about like lighting and everything anyway. But I like the ease of use and the quickness of this camera. With the autofocus was a lot smoother than my A7 III, in all honesty. It would kind of capture the subject a lot easier, and the tracking's a lot better. So with that already, kind of felt nice to have whenever I was doing this literally same day shoot. Since I got it on the 26th, and I had to go take the photos on the 26th, and then obviously I have time to do initial kind of opening. But can't judge me on this one. I'm gonna show you my initial reaction of when I got my package. My wife kind of filmed it on her iPhone, so don't judge me too much, but here it is. I've been waiting for you for 1,000 years. I know, weird, right? But at the same time, it's my kind of like Santa Claus moment, where my gift came late, I guess, if you will, and finally got my gift to be able to give myself when it comes down to this camera. So excited for that. So let's go out and take some photos and videos and see what we can create with this camera today, and then kind of give you my final review and thoughts of the camera. And hopefully this will help you decide if you want to get this camera, or if you want to get any other, like maybe the A7 III instead of the A7 IV, because you didn't really think it'd be that great. I don't know, we'll see. Now that we're here at basically the area that I want to take some videos and photos with the A7 IV, I'm going to switch over to the A7 IV right now to just kind of use it as my main quote-unquote setup for vlogging, and then I'll also take some photos in a bit. But I just wanted to kind of use it a little bit here shortly to see what it's like to, I guess, vlog with it. I kind of did all my setup settings just how I have it on my A7S III, so we'll see if it looks better, since I know they have oversampling and it's supposed to look nicer. So you'll be the judge of it, because I won't be able to tell until I see it on the bigger screen. But here is the A7 IV footage starting now. And this is the A7 IV footage of me just, you know, hanging out here in the nice Woodlands area. I don't know if you can tell that major of a difference, but this is, you know, what it looks like. I'm trying to look at the little screen itself. I mean, it looks good, obviously, because it's supposed to be the, I think, oversample from 7K or whatever it is. But to me, this is kind of cool. I'm gonna do a little bit of kind of footage just of the area, and then do also like the slow motion and everything like that. Maybe take some video with my wife, you know, kind of like cinematic style, whatever BS. But that way you can kind of see what the 4K 24 and then the 60 will be like, and you can kind of see for yourself. And something that I've been kind of curious myself was if the 120 frames per second was going to be still, I don't want to say crappy like the A7 III, but not as strong when it came down to it, because it was 1080. So I'll kind of sprinkle that in a little bit here and there too, just to see how it looks. But here we go. That's the footage that, you know, kind of something simple and quick, just to see what it looks like. Obviously my main thing was to kind of look at how versatile this camera is. I want to do a more in-depth review eventually of the A7 III versus the A7 IV with the settings, just to see if it really matters for you as a content creator to use the camera itself for more video and a good, you know, photo camera, or if you want to just go with the A7 III because the video part is not as demanding for you. That's just, you know, something that I think would be kind of beneficial for you guys to know, which I'll be working on in the next video for you guys. So I like to obviously pace myself with all these videos because of my schedule, but I'll be working on it for you guys. We're gonna take a few photos using the Tamron 35-150 and the A7 IV. Like I said, I've already taken some photos with it only whenever I did my nephew's baptism, but we're just gonna take a couple portraits out here, and then I'm also gonna try to do the bird mode since there are some birds around in this area, and see how good it can focus on the birds. I don't know if it'll reach it because obviously it's a little bit, they'll be a little bit farther, and even with the 150 range it should be a little bit far because of where the birds are located. But other than that, it should be all right to give some examples kind of quickly. Eventually I want to do a kind of like POV style portrait, street photography kind of style video where I can go downtown and make some photos using this setup and see how quickly it is with the autofocus and everything coming out and about, since a lot of times with the street photography that I like to do, it's a lot faster paced, that you don't have enough time to kind of set up and, you know, have your subject just stand and be fine. It's just a little bit faster and quicker. My A7R III has been phenomenal for that. Obviously I've used it a lot. My latest video using the 35-150 with the A7R III was something that I thought was really great, and a lot of people liked it. So we're just gonna test this out real quick now with some photography, and then, you know, see how well the photos with the A7 IV and the Tamron lens goes. time to be the bird hunter. Wow, it actually does the eye autofocus from here. Like the bird's all the way there, and it actually like started doing the eye autofocus for a second or two. I was like, wow, surprising. So basically, something I thought was pretty cool with bird autofocus, eye autofocus, even from a far distance, the little square of it actually came up, which is kind of cool in my opinion, because I thought it was really far away to kind of pick it up. Not always would it do that, so I can't imagine how good it is whenever you do have like a really good telephoto lens, and to be able to kind of have that, you know, up and close personal with the birds and see how well it focuses on their eye. So hopefully next time that I can get to the park nearby my house, there's some ducks there, I'm going to try it out with them and see how good it does with that. But that's basically all that I wanted to test out. I kind of did a little bit of video obviously with like the A7 IV and the birds, because I did the 60 frames. Since it does the crop, it gives me that extra juice to basically be able to, I guess, get some of the birds up closer. So it's kind of cool in my opinion to be able to do that. One benefit of having the crop, I guess. But with all that said, honestly, this camera so far has been pretty stellar. It really helped me out whenever I used it for the baptism. I honestly wasn't, like, I was kind of concerned to see if it was going to be that much better than my A7 III. Would it be worth it? For me alone, the main thing that I've really enjoyed has been having the 10-bit color video, so that if I really don't want to bring my A7S III with me, I can just bring the A7 IV to do the video part and the photography part, because it has some more, and I don't have to bring two bodies of cameras with me. But despite of that, I think that like with everything, I think it's a really good step up obviously from the A7 III. I'm not going to take that away from it. I wish they still wouldn't have done the crop censored part of the 60 frames per second. They should have just kept it full frame. I mean, if people would have wanted to have obviously the 120 4K, they just go with the A7S III. But the 4K 60 crop is still kind of not a bummer completely, but it is a little bit of, doesn't make sense. I know that they're trying to think that it's going to like take away from the A7S III, but if you only get 4K 60 without the crop, it doesn't matter, because you're not getting the 4K to 120. That's just my opinion. Still something I'm salty about, if you will. But other than that, it's a great camera for stills, video, and just kind of creating, whether it's vlogging setups or taking actual photos when you're out and about. So that's pretty much what I think that this camera has done so far, and kind of my, like, I guess, initial review. I'm excited to put it through more vigorous testing. If you have anything that you want me to cover in the next video, please let me know down below. I would love to kind of incorporate things that you want to cover. For me, the main things that I wanted to see is how good the 120 frames per second was, since it wasn't going to be 4K and it wasn't even 10-bit. At least I couldn't find it, unless I'm just not finding it right or setting it up right. But because somebody had said that you could do 10-bit 1080 120 frames per second, but I didn't see it. But I guess you can let me know how and if you think it looks good or not. But that's pretty much it with that. I'm going to be doing more videos later on it. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.